I'm in Usha, a small town in Galilee, but almost 1,900 years ago, this place was the center of the Jewish world. Here the Sanhedrin was reborn, here the wise men walked, and here began Judaism as we know it today. Imagine this place in the year 135 of our era. The temple in Jerusalem had been destroyed more than half a century ago. Judea burned after Mar Kotla's rebellion, and then the people's leaders, the wise men, understood that survival no longer depended on the altar, but on the law of study and community. It was here, among olive fields and silent hills, that the Sanhedrin, Judaism's highest court, would settle. There were no priests or sacrifices left. But there was still word, and that word needed to be ordered, transmitted, cared for. Usha was the cradle of that new stage. Look at this. A mic sees a ritual bath, and you see what's interesting. Each wine or oil dam had one right next to it. Why? Because for the people of Usha, even working required spiritual purity. Wine wasn't just wine, it was a symbol, it was tradition, and the same with the oil, the same that was used to light the lamps of the home and the soul. Not only sages lived here, there were farmers, artisans, entire families who observed the law, even when pressing an olive. Usha was a village that breathed holiness in everyday life. Many wise men passed through this city, but some names marked the era, such as that of Rabbi Meir Baranes or Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. They all passed through here, but there is one I want you to remember. Rabbi Yehuda ben Baba. When Rome forbade ordaining rabbis, he would take 5 disciples out of town between Usha and Shvaram. There, secretly, he would hand them the ordinance. Seeing the soldiers approaching, he would order his disciples to escape, but he would stay behind. He knew what was coming. His body was pierced by 300 alliances, but thanks to his sacrifice, the chain of knowledge was not broken. And that was the spirit of Usha. Life in the midst of collapse was where there was no longer political hope. But the resistance was not only spiritual. Here, archaeologists found remains of presses, iron slag, pieces of glass, even a 1,400-year-old hammer. That is, they forged tools, made lamps, worked the field. It was a complete and living community, deeply committed to its identity. From this place, decisions would be made that are still studied by the rabbis today. In Usha, it was dictated, for example, that no one should give more than 20% of his property to charity so that it would not be in need, that parents should take good care of their children up to a certain age, and that children should take care of their parents when they are older. And that religious punishments, such as excommunication, cannot be used lightly. Do you know what that's called? Takanot, that is, ordinances, rules to rebuild a broken society. And that is what Usha was, a platform from which the people were rebuilt without a temple, without an army, but with law, memory, and community.